Have you ever heard of a boxer so precise that his nickname was High Tech? Dominating his division and destroying everyone in his path to glory, he might seem like the perfect prospect. However, he had one major flaw. He lacked any serious punching power. His technique was based on many aspects beyond his strength, to the point that his opponents claimed he could disappear in plain sight inside the ring. Welcome! In today's video, we'll get to know the man recognized as the boxer who was gifted with the best technique. His name, Vasyl Lomachenko. His story, something worth sticking around until the end of this video for. These are the origins of Vasyl Lomachenko, the greatest amateur fighter in history. Background: born on February 17, 1988 in the tough eastern region of Ukraine, Vasyl Lomachenko was destined for greatness. He grew up in a family with sports in their genes. His father, Anatoly Lomachenko, had already made waves in boxing before becoming a sports coach. His mother, on the other hand, was an acrobatics trainer. His sister, Anastasia, holds an international sports diploma in acrobatics, proving that athletic talent runs deep in the family. Interestingly, Anatoly did not introduce Vasyl to boxing as soon as he was old enough. Contrary to what one might expect, he chose to develop his son's skills in a unique way. Before Vasyl could even put on a pair of gloves, he learned traditional Ukrainian dances, gaining exceptional foot coordination and balance from this training. The dance styles Vasyl practiced are often showcased at festivals and competitions where nations seek to highlight their cultural heritage. Before finally being introduced to the noble art of boxing, Vasyl also dabbled in gymnastics. It might seem like a random set of activities chosen by a young boy unsure of his true passion. However, Anatoly was the mastermind behind these unconventional methods, designed to help his son develop impeccable footwork and coordination, key elements for his future success in the ring. Despite the outcome of his rigorous training, Vasyl has publicly shared that, had his father not been a boxer, he might have pursued ice hockey instead. But Anatoly had a vision and spared no effort in secretly preparing his son to become a technical boxing machine. Since the age of 4, every skill Vasyl learned was carefully orchestrated with the intention of helping him excel in the ring. Could Anatoly be lying? Of course. But his son is not the first fighter to train with unorthodox methods and achieve greatness. Another great example of the effectiveness of his training is none other than Oleksandr Usyk, the undisputed heavyweight champion, who, coincidentally, happens to be Vasyl's godfather. With Anatoly at the heart of it all, both Usyk and Lomachenko are poised to be the foundation of one of the greatest boxing dynasties ever seen. Like any genius, Anatoly proved that Vasyl's training was nothing more than a scientific process, unorthodox yet undeniably effective. To this day, some compare his meticulous approach to the one Evander Holyfield adopted for his own training. Anatoly took charge of preparing Vasyl from a young age, executing a carefully encrypted plan that would shape him into the extraordinary boxer he is today. One of Anatoly's most unique methods was pushing Vasyl's stamina to the extreme. To reach peak levels, Vasyl began holding his breath underwater for as long as possible. The mere existence of these training sessions is surprisingly unique, yes, but nothing is as shocking as his record: 4.5 minutes. Just to put that into perspective, most people struggle to hold their breath for even a minute. Anatoly's training methods weren't just limited to developing Vasyl's breath control. He truly became a mad scientist when it came to preparing his son for battle. Instead of training for a standard 12-round fight, Vasyl always focused on 15 rounds. You might think he wasn't the first fighter to do this, but let me surprise you, these weren't necessarily the typical 3-minute rounds. For Anatoly, it was crucial that his son be prepared for at least 4 minutes per round. And when it came to rest between rounds, forget about the usual 1-minute break fighters get. For Anatoly, it was vital that Vasyl be ready to return to the fight in just 30 seconds. You might think this was madness, but this grueling training regimen made Vasyl Lomachenko one of the greatest amateur fighters in history. During this period of his career, he secured an astonishing record of 396 wins with only 1 loss. His path to greatness officially began at the 2007 World Championships in Chicago, where he won a silver medal. On his way to the final, he defeated Abner Cotto in the first round before taking down Theodoros Papazov, Mikhail Bernatsky, Arturo Santos Reyes, and Li Yang in the semifinals.
And every guy that we have seen so far has... don't want to be caught up on the inside in a bit. So you don't want to be where Yang Li can muscle you. You want to be feeling from our vantage point. He has to stalk, swarm, post. must protect the fighters. And now the Ukrainian Lomachenko.
In the final, he faced the heavy favorite, Russian fighter Albert Selimov, losing by a tough judge's decision. The following year, Lomachenko prepared for a spectacular comeback at the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing. He completely dominated his opponents with an impeccable score of 58-13, earning his first Olympic gold medal.
Ничего, все нормально. 40 секунд друг друга. 2-5. Подустали, конечно, но еще впереди полбоя. Попадает сейчас Ломаченко. Дают судьи. Правый подряд еще раз попадает Ломаченко. Он бросился в атакушских состояниях. Вот пошел размен. Вот так вот они будут и весь четвертый раунд работать. То уже не месяцы. Рассчитывали, что одна из них может достаться Альберту Селимову. Но 20 секунд до конца. И вот пошла эта сеча. Потеря, и, к сожалению, это Альберт Селимов.
His performance was so impressive that he was named the tournament's outstanding boxer, and he also took home the prestigious Val Barker Trophy. That same year, he won another gold medal at the European Championships in Liverpool, proving his dominance at the highest level. In 2009, he secured yet another gold medal at the World Championships in Milan. When the featherweight division was removed, Lomachenko moved up to the lightweight division for the 2011 World Championships in Baku. There, he captured his second world title, becoming a two-division world champion while still an amateur.
Confidence and style that has upset so many at these championships.
A slight case of nerves, perhaps, for Toledo also. I mean, he is...
He's down! What a fantastic right hook! Coming into these finals, the most successful nation with 5 boxers in the 10.
Fast forwarding a bit, by 2007, many specialized online sources had begun referring to him as the greatest amateur fighter of all time. Competing against legends like Laszlo Papp, Teofilo Stevenson, and Guillermo Rigondeaux, Lomachenko made sure to leave almost no rival standing, cementing his legacy in the world of amateur boxing. Many fans criticized Vasyl Lomachenko for delaying his transition to professional boxing for as long as possible, but he had more than a valid reason for doing so. For him, winning 2 Olympic gold medals for his country was a top priority. However, by extending his time in the amateur boxing scene, he built a record that no other fighter will ever be able to match. Although Vasyl Lomachenko's journey in professional boxing has been nothing short of extraordinary, maintaining a legacy just as legendary as in the amateur ring, it's impossible not to look back and reflect on everything he accomplished before reaching the big leagues. He proved that the most important ring in the world was always the one he stepped into. Conclusion: if you've made it this far, thank you. Remember, the best way to support my content is by leaving a like on the video. Did you already know the full extent of Vasyl Lomachenko's amateur career? Do you have a favorite fight featuring him? Let me know in the comments.